It's great to be with you, and we at Enterprise Bank and Trust are so proud to be sponsors of tonight's inspirational program and the wonderful fireworks that will follow. We're inspired tonight by hope. And with that inspiration, what we've all decided to do tomorrow is to ride, haven't we? And we are. Some of us further than others, but we're all going to ride. Some of us ride for the person of the hand that we're holding tonight, don't we? And some of us ride for the hands we cannot hold tonight. Some of us ride for those who care for those with cancer. And we all ride for those who've dedicated their life for research. So one day, Enterprise Bank and Trust doesn't have to sponsor the inspirational program. We can sponsor the celebratory program. I want to thank all of you for being here tonight and those who will ride tomorrow. I want to thank our team at Enterprise Bank and Trust who put so much time and effort into making this a special weekend. Those who are here tonight, those who will be here tomorrow, and those who are around the country who will participate. Thank you so much, and we look forward to seeing you all at the finish line. Have a great evening.
Hey, good evening, Pedal family. Pedal the Cause 2023 is officially underway. Jim, that was so well said. Beautiful, thank you. That's exactly the sentiment that I know lies in the heart of everybody here. So well said. We owe many thanks to many people for making tonight and this weekend a reality. But first and foremost, we want to honor our living proof. Living proof are cancer survivors, fighters, and thrivers who are at the core of the Pedal the Cause community. They are the reason we do this. They inspire us with their strength, with their courage, and with their positivity. They are living proof that advances in science are bringing us closer to cures. Please turn your attention to the center aisle, if you would please. To the center aisle here, as our 2023 Living Proof procession makes its way up to the front of the stage. And please stand and give me a rounding standing ovation to our heroes.
my name's Troy Guzman, and I am Design Director for Brand Experience and Graphic Design here at Arcturus. And I was diagnosed September 22 with glioblastoma. This profession is very high stress. On your computer, almost 24 hours a day, I thought I was just getting migraines. And that was early summer, and things just started to progress, getting worse. I was always tired and sleepy. And headaches turned into nausea, and it just really peaked in September. And my doctor was like, "You need to get an MRI." 2 days later, I was in surgery. It just happened so fast. I don't even remember a lot of it. We had a golf ball-sized tumor in my brain after I got out of my first surgery. Prognosis. Everybody was asking me about prognosis. I was kind of offended. It's like, I don't have an expiration date. It's like, I'm taking this one battle at a time. What comes to me, it's like, these are the cards I was dealt. Let's deal with one challenge at a time and get through it. And I have the utmost confidence in my Saint Cancer team, calling my entourage. Dr. Albert Kim, my surgeon, Dr. Omar Butt, my oncologist, and my radiologist, Dr. Yang. I think the world of them, and what they do, they've just been fabulous. And I'm ready to give back to them. I want to raise them a hell of a lot of money through Pedal the Cause.
So I've known Troy about 15 years. Troy is a master and genius of design. But he hasn't let us drop a ball for a second. I've thought about dropping the ball, and he's right behind me, picking it up, throwing it at me. What I'm happy about is that, as shocking as it was when we first found out, he's sharp as a tack and optimistic and as bright a light as they come. So it's been wonderful to be alongside him and to see the way he's handled this. I've gotten Arcturus involved in Pedal the Cause because I was passionate about it. Leadership immediately supported me when I wanted to be on the board. And then when we started doing some design work for you as our in-kind donation, we always would go over and beyond because we know how impactful Pedal is and how great it is for the St. Louis community, which is a big part of our mission at Arcturus.
We feel design makes everything better. It elevates. And through the power of design, what we were hoping to do with Pedal the Cause and some of their initiatives is really to use design to raise awareness. It's a very creative and fun, talented group from all walks of life, and we all compete against each other actually while we're pursuing projects. And this was a way for us to unite for causes, and we've been writing for probably about 8 to 10 different causes. And Pedal the Cause has been one of those. It's been a great organization, and a lot of my social life is in that team. A lot of close friends that I've developed, a lot of great friendships through that organization. This jersey design that you've seen in our reveal is centered around glioblastoma and the fact that it's a gray suit. And this was recommended by my team members, which is great to honor what I'm going through. We've got a team of 24 riders for Pedal the Cause. We're hoping to double that. We think we can. That's our goal. I'm looking forward to the camaraderie, not just with my team, but with other people in the battle and other family members and caregivers in the battle. I find my strength in all the people around me. Obviously, my partner, Benjamin, has been my rock. My family, my faith, my friends, the wonderful people in my work organization have been so supportive. Organizations like you, my cycling team. And I belong to some glioblastoma groups, and they inspire me with their stories as well, and I hope I can inspire them too.
Please welcome top fundraiser and living proof, Jen Farmer, and Executive Director of Pedal the Cause, David Dreyer.
Welcome to Pedal the Cause Inspiration Program, sponsored by Enterprise Bank and Trust. We just heard from Jim, the president, and he gave such a great little talk there. We really appreciate that. We're so thrilled you can join us tonight as we celebrate our 14th year of riding and fundraising for a world without cancer. Being all together is what truly matters tonight. That's what it's all about. You know, I was on the start line back at year one with so many of you out here tonight, and I'm incredibly proud to stand here with Jen and tell you now, with over $40 million donated, and 211 adult and pediatric cancer research projects funded, we are just knocking it out of the park. We owe our thanks to so many of you who have supported us and lifted us up along the way since that start line in 2010. Can you believe 2010?
2010 doesn't seem that long ago, but then when you hear how much money we raised, whew.
It's a lot.
It is.
It's a lot. One constant over the years has been our presenting sponsor. And I think you all know who that is. You could probably shout it back to me. It's Edward Jones. Edward Jones, their support has been transformational. Transformational. We're stronger and more impactful because of their generosity, and please join me in thanking, profoundly thanking, Edward Jones for their support all these years.
Yes, David, the Pedal the Cause community is so generous and truly one of a kind. As a rider and a fundraiser myself, I know that isn't always easy, but it's always worth it. We'd like to acknowledge a few members of the Pedal family who are already topping the list this year, doing the hard work. They are our podium fundraisers, meaning they've raised or committed to raising $25,000 or more this year each. So congratulations, Dan Tim, Kira Anderson, Matthew Donnie, Nicole Stubblefield, Ann Sullivan, Ron Triplett, Ryan Fields, Heather Johnson, Kevin Alm, Addie Darnell, Emery Schofield, and David Dreyer. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you to our podium fundraisers. We know there are more of you to come, so keep pushing through the close of fundraising, which is October 31st. We'll see all our podiums on stage with us at the check presentation November 15th, helping us reveal the final grand total raised this year.
Yep. Yeah, that check presentation, by the way, we're adding a benefit concert, which I'm giving a little sneak peek to. Ooh. But more on that, so just pay attention to all your pedal communications in the coming weeks. You'll hear more about that. So our support system, Jen, and everybody here, it runs really deep and allows us to donate 100% of all the participant-raised funds to the cancer research. That 100% model is the essence of what we do. It's one of our pillars that will never change. Without the operational support of our Champion Circle, however, and that Champion Circle is our annual leadership giving program, and events such as the A World Without Cancer Day, that 100% model would not be possible. Thank you to all our Champion Circle members, to all those who supported A World Without Cancer Day on August 2nd, and of course, to our wonderful lineup of sponsors, which foot, so much of the expenses to put something like this on. So please, let's give a hand to all of our sponsors for Pedal 2023.
I know even after Pedal, when I go into a lot of these businesses, I make sure to say thank you for supporting Pedal the Cause, because it does mean so much to us. The momentum of Pedal the Cause has just been amazing to watch grow and strengthen as each year goes by. I'll dig into the impact of those dollars raised and miles ridden a little bit later in the show, but let's look forward for a minute, David, because next year is a big anniversary.
It is, Jen. 2024 will be our 15th year riding and raising money to create a world without cancer. 15th year, next year.
Yeah, that is so awesome. In addition to supersizing and amping up the event in a lot of different ways, what else can we expect for the 15th anniversary?
Well, the big thing that I can talk about tonight is that we will be changing venues next year. After spending the last 9 years here and down at the amphitheater, we'll be relocating. We want to say thank you before we do that, and tonight's a good night to do that, to Michael Steinberg and the Steinberg Group for all their generosity over these years. 9 years here, he's been really good to us.
Yeah.
So thank you, Michael, and the whole Steinberg Group. But there's a lot of upcoming development. If you're following the news, this is going to be Chesterfield City Center before too very long, which will be transformational for the city of Chesterfield and everybody around. So that's a good thing. But we need a new ride village. But don't worry, it's not too far, and it's really exciting space that will give. I'm not telling you until November 15th. You're not going to get it out of me.
Just whisper to me.
Okay, no. And it'll offer some fun and some safe and challenging, really challenging courses. For you avid cyclists amongst us, you metrics and you century men and women, there's going to be some great challenging rides that I think you're going to really, really love. So more on that November 15th at the Czech presentation. I just know one thing. Our 15th year is going to make some noise and some history. It's going to be one to remember.
Yes. Well, I am going to be on the edge of my seat on November 15th. I will be there, all ears with everyone else. But let's get back to this year, because this year 14 has already been my favorite so far. I mean, look at this crowd. I haven't seen a crowd this big at Taste the Cause ever. It's amazing.
No, this is record-breaking, folks. You're making history with us.
Yeah. And with your help, it will also be our most impactful. We owe each and every one of you out there a big thank you. You don't have to be here, but you choose to. You choose to do the hard work, and that is amazing. We're so thankful. So thank you, Petal family, for being here tonight and this weekend. Thank you for supporting the brilliant doctors and researchers at Siteman Cancer Center and Siteman Kids at St. Louis Children's Hospital by seeding their ideas. And thank you for believing in the model. It's a model that works. So to say more, please welcome to the stage Laura Ellenhorn, principal at Edward Jones, and Rich Leikwig, president and CEO of BJC Healthcare.
Hi, everyone, and welcome everyone for Edward Jones as the presenting sponsor. We thank you for being part of this bold movement to create a world without cancer. At Edward Jones, our purpose is to partner for positive impact, to improve the lives of our clients and colleagues, and together better our communities and society. One of the ways that we do that and we live our purpose is promoting healthier futures, and by investing significantly in causes just like this. We are so proud to be the presenting sponsor of Petal the Cause since year one. And now in this 14th year, it has been incredible to see what we've built together. Look at this. Look at this. This is amazing. We believe our support allows Petal the Cause to build a strong community of passionate leaders, passionate writers, passionate fundraisers to fund early-stage breakthrough cancer research at wonderful, amazing institutions like Siteman Cancer Center and Siteman Kids at the St. Louis Children's Hospital. Absolutely amazing, Rich, and we are so proud to be able to do that. And we've seen the community come together, this community come together in a really meaningful and impactful way. We know that Petal the Cause has found a place where true impact is being achieved right here in St. Louis and beyond. So tonight, you'll hear from our living proof and Petal-funded researchers on this impact. And together, we'll celebrate the great progress that we've all made together. On the behalf of Edward Jones, on the behalf of all the people, the friends, and families that have been impacted by all the work that you're doing, thank you. Thank you for writing. Thank you for your fundraising. Thank you for your donating. Thank you for your volunteering. Thank you for all of the discretionary energy that you give to others and for inspiring us to continue down this road together towards a world without cancer. Thank you.
Thank you, Laura, and thank you to Edward Jones. They've been sharing this vision from the very start. 14 years now, as we heard from David. You've been a corporate role model, truly a corporate role model, whose generosity, whose support, and trust have been transformational for Petal the Cause. And therefore, because of that transformational support and that role model, the work we do at Siteman Cancer Center, at Siteman Kids at our St. Louis Children's Hospital, is able to go on and on and on. And Edward Jones, just like BJC Healthcare, are part of a much bigger and truly amazing family. And that would be our Petal family. Please, please, please give yourselves a hand. We can't do this without the broader family. Petal the Cause, as you heard David say a little bit earlier, over the past 14 years has raised an astounding almost $41 million since its inception. Those dollars, yeah, amazing. But it even gets better. Those dollars have funded, and I think David mentioned this, 211 cancer research projects. 163 of those projects were for adults. 48 were for children. These projects often produce groundbreaking results that lead to new treatments and cures, preventions, early detection diagnostics, and together they have an incredible return on investment. So for that $41 million that the Petal family has raised over the last 14 years, every one of those dollars that have been donated to Petal the Cause, our Siteman physician scientists and our research teams, two of whom you're going to hear from in just a few moments, have been able to leverage each and every one of those dollars to obtain an additional $12 for every $1 raised. And those sources come from the National Cancer Institute and the National Institute for Health to further advance these cancer research projects. So when you do the math, that's almost $500 million in funded cancer research thanks to Petal the Cause. Incredible. And as a result, you, the Petal family, are bringing talent, impact, and life-saving cures to our St. Louis community, but also to the world. So on behalf of BJC Healthcare, on behalf of our Washington University physicians and physician scientists, and our Siteman Cancer Center, and our Siteman Kids family, we thank you.
Please welcome Petal the Cause Board President Bill Timmons.
Good evening. Taste the Cause. BJC, Edward Jones. Let's give them a round of applause. We are so fortunate to live in this city, to have a world-class academic medical center, world-class cancer research facility, and absolutely the best children's hospital that most of us will ever see. So a huge hand for BJC, the Siteman Cancer Center, Siteman Kids, and St. Louis Children's Hospital. So good evening. As he said, my name is Bill Timmons. I have the privilege and the pleasure of serving as your board president. I am honored to be here tonight to present the annual Bill and Amy Komen Founders Award. Bill and Amy started Pedal the Cause back in 2010 after Bill was successfully treated twice for lymphoma at the Siteman Cancer Center. Since then, Bill and Amy have committed their lives to creating a world without cancer. The Founders Award was created for individuals and sometimes organizations who share their passion, vision, and generosity, and who've been instrumental in establishing Pedal the Cause as the cancer-curing engine that we are today. In 2021, we presented Bill and Amy with the inaugural Founders Award to recognize their vision, their leadership, and most importantly, action. This year, we're honored to present it to a very special partner, one who has supported Pedal since our inception. This is a corporate partner with one of our largest teams, with some of the largest and highest employee engagement, and they've graciously hosted a training ride at their headquarters for as long as I can remember. Since 2014, they have donated all the refrigeration for our event, which represents an enormous cost savings and makes for a one-of-a-kind post-ride celebration. On behalf of our fantastic staff, led by David Dreyer, our board of directors, and you, the entire Pedal the Cause family, I'm pleased to present this year's Bill and Amy Komen Founders Award to True Refrigeration, and the company's owner and one of our biggest Pedal the Cause champions, Steve Trulask. True graciously accepted this award earlier in the week, and Steve and the entire company send their thanks and gratitude for this very special and unique recognition. So with that, now let's hear from Dr. Maggie Ferris and her patient Will. Maggie and Will are our 2023 featured fighters. Our featured fighters, sponsored by Availity, are members of the Pedal family for whom the fight against cancer is deeply personal. Will is one of our Ride for a Child kids, a program supported by one of our newest sponsors, Hyundai Hope on Wheels, where kids undergoing cancer research treatment at St. Louis Children's Hospital are paired with a Pedal the Cause team that rides very much in their honor. So let's take a look and watch a video with Dr. Ferris and her patient Will. Thank you.
I am 15 years old, and I like to do active stuff like basketball, baseball, ride my bike.
He loves doing anything outdoors, always has. He'd rather be riding his bike or playing basketball out in the streets or doing anything that he can to get outside than to be sitting on a couch. We were on vacation last summer, and he tested positive for COVID. We had been passing COVID around the family earlier the month before, and so I didn't think anything of it. He just had your typical COVID symptoms.
At a certain point, we ended up going to the emergency room because we just needed this to be cared for a little bit more. But we were convinced it was COVID, and it didn't take long that evening for us to find out through blood tests that they suspected that in addition to COVID, that he had acute myeloid leukemia. It's a blur. Honestly, it was a blur from then until they started chemo, which was pretty quickly. It feels like they started chemo within a day, maybe the second day, but it was so fast and it was such a blur because they wanted to get this started.
Most patients, they get their diagnosis, they get their first cycle of chemo, they're in the hospital for about a month, and then they go home and they come back about a week later to get the next cycle. Will was really sick. Will, coming into his diagnosis, already had an autoimmune disease of his liver. And then for about 2 months, Will was very, very sick and did not leave the PICU. And then he was finally able to come up to the floor, was able to complete his chemotherapy, go home for little bits of time, but it was a really long, about 7 to 8 month course for Will.
I don't remember much, but I remember like being void and wanting to go home. It was really hard, like probably the hardest thing I ever had to do.
The trial that he was a part of was to see if we could decrease side effects of chemotherapy. So he got one drug that is basically a combination of two drugs that we historically have given, but put into a certain delivery method where it should not affect like his liver and other organs and just target his bone marrow. So Will was a part of that study. Luckily, Will, after one cycle of chemotherapy, showed no evidence of leukemia anymore. So then you still go on to get more chemotherapy to make sure that it doesn't come back, but Will was able to get 4 more cycles, so 5 total.
One thing I love about Children's Hospital is there are miracles that happen there every day. We were given the option to enroll or put our name in the hat for a study that was being done at Children's. And getting those different medications and having her monitor his progress and his case for all these months has been, I think, really crucial to his recovery and to him doing so well on chemo in the long run.
Pedal the Cause money has made it so that I can do these experiments and get the preliminary data I need to get, the NIH funding to go on and be independent. And so I don't have to say, what's the cheapest way to do this experiment or whatever. I can say, what's the best way to do this experiment to get the data that I need to get the right answer. And with the Pedal the Cause funding, I have the money to support doing the research the right way the first time. Pediatric cancer researchers get 4% of the NIH cancer funding. So we, on the pediatric side, really depend on foundations and philanthropic giving to be able to do this really important research and make an impact on kids with cancer.
I hope that Will gets to be a kid again soon. I mean, he is getting stronger every day. I'm so proud of him. Like, I want him to grow up. I want him to grow up, period. And have the choices that everyone else has in life, and that's what I want as a parent. Investing in kids is never a mistake. So investing in Children's Hospital that helps kids make their lives better or helps them get better, it's not a mistake.
Wow. I love that video. And Will and his family are here tonight. Thank you for sharing your story. And thank you, Dr. Ferris, for sharing your story and the important work you do in pediatric cancer research. Pedal family, by the way, you made this happen. Give yourselves a round of applause. So I have the privilege of standing on stage with 3 Pedal the Cause funded researchers who are changing the landscape of cancer research with their incredible work. Dr. Maggie Ferris from St. Louis Children's Hospital. Dr. Ryan Fields on the other end of the stage from Siteman Cancer Center, and you might remember his name earlier as a podium fundraiser this year. Congrats again. And Dr. Christopher Marr from Siteman Cancer Center as well. Thank you. And we met him earlier this evening from his own featured fighter video. Thank you all for being here. So let me start with Dr. Ferris. We just learned how your Pedal-funded study is helping kids suffer fewer side effects from chemotherapy. Sorry, I'm losing my voice. What outcomes have you achieved, and how is this study helping pediatric cancer patients like Will?
So one of the problems with conventional chemotherapy is that it can't distinguish between tumor cells and normal cells. So although it might eradicate your tumor, it kills a lot of normal cells too, and you get a lot of side effects. So one way that the trial that Will was a part of tried to combat that was to deliver the same drugs in a different way. Another way that we have tried to change treatment is to have more targeted therapies, and that's what my work is concentrated on, and trying to take advantage of vulnerabilities that are specific to the tumor cells, so that a drug to be given to a patient will just kill the tumor cells and leave the normal cells alone to decrease the side effects that way. And so I've been working on that in the lab with Pedal the Cause funds and have some exciting preliminary data that I'm excited to keep moving forward with these funds of the preclinical trials so that it can become its own clinical trial one day for patients with leukemia.
Thank you. And we heard earlier tonight, pediatric cancer research only receives 4% of the funding from the NIC. So how important are these Pedal the Cause funds to advancing pediatric research?
Yes, so a common thing we say in pediatrics is that kids are not just small adults, which when I thought about saying that, I didn't realize what a small adult I would look like while saying it. But, and that is really evident with oncology, where the tumors that we have in kids, adults don't even get. And then also the tumors that are the same in adults and kids, like leukemia, the biology of them is very different. They happen for different reasons. They respond to therapies different ways. So it's really important for us as pediatric cancer researchers to be able to study pediatric cancers so that we can find out why they happen and how we can treat them most effectively. And thankfully, Pedal the Cause really understands that. And instead of the 4% that we get from the NCI, about a third of the Pedal the Cause funds have gone to pediatric cancer researchers like myself. So thank you so much.
That's amazing. Thank you, Dr. Ferris, for your important work. Dr. Fields and Dr. Marr, you're both accomplished doctors and researchers. Dr. Fields, you've been funded by Pedal the Cause twice. And Dr. Marr, you've been funded 5 times. Is that a record? We're going to say it is. It's a record on this stage tonight. You were funded together on a collaborative project back in 2020 to explore colorectal cancer metastasis on a molecular level. So Dr. Marr, tell me what the findings were of this initial study.
Yeah, so thank you. I've been collaborating with Ryan Fields for over a decade now, and we've been very interested in understanding how a primary colon tumor becomes more aggressive and is able to spread throughout the body to distant organs. And so to do this through Pedal the Cause funding, we actually used cutting-edge genomics technology to identify a whole novel class of RNA molecules. And what was interesting is this whole class of molecules had been previously overlooked because people didn't understand what they did. They just assumed that they were noise and in fact even labeled them as junk. But as it turns out, through the Pedal the Cause funding, we found a specific RNA molecule that when it becomes active, it actually promotes aggressive behavior and even chemotherapy resistance. And so we used the $200,000 of funding from Pedal the Cause to generate this critical data, change the way we think about RNA molecules, and successfully apply for a National Cancer Institute 5-year, $2.8 million grant to continue studying the mechanism of how this RNA molecule promotes aggressive disease and chemotherapy resistance, to see if we could monitor the RNA activity as an indicator of which patients are likely to be progressing before they spread throughout the body, and also to try to develop a novel therapy to inhibit this RNA molecule to better improve the treatment for colon cancer patients.
Wow, that's amazing. From $200,000 to $2.8 million. That's pretty incredible. And Dr. Fields, over the last 14 years, how have Pedal the Cause dollars been transformational for the work that's happening at Siteman Cancer Center?
Yeah, I mean, that word is perfect. It's transformational. To put it simply, we couldn't do what we do, none of us or anyone else out there in the research community, without Pedal the Cause. And the reason why is, as you can imagine, Siteman has some of the most brilliant people in the world. So if Dr. Marr or Dr. Ferris, if Keon Lim or Bill Hawkins, my colleagues in pancreas cancer, who many of you know, Will Glanders in breast cancer, Nancy Bartlett in lymphoma, if you line us all up, Ben Tan, who I saw earlier in colorectal cancer, we all have an idea, and we submit that to the NIH. Statistically, only one of us is going to get funded, one of those brilliant ideas. But the reason that all of us, all the names I mentioned, are competitive and get funding and move the needle is because of Pedal the Cause, and that's because the National Cancer Institute has a limited budget, and they're very conservative. They want to fund things that have success. And that success, from our standpoint, to apply for, needs really, really good preliminary data. And that preliminary data to write into the grant, it takes a lot of people, it takes a lot of equipment, it takes new buildings, and that costs a lot of money. And this is, you are our Kickstarter, you are our GoFundMe, you are the reason that we can get those projects off the ground. And as Rich Leikwig said, they move them forward but they also move them forward to benefit people and patients, whether that's a new treatment, whether that's a new diagnostic. And ultimately, what I think it ends up meaning, and I had the pleasure and honor to stand up front during the Living Proof processional, and it was led by Craig Stegmeyer, a patient and friend of mine who just celebrated his 10-year cancer-free anniversary. And yeah. And unbelievably meaningful that at the very end, the other bookend was Terry Grieg, who I don't have to introduce, and everyone knows well, who's many years cancer-free. And as I'm clapping and my hands are hurt, and I realized, they don't hurt enough. We want to make that Living Proof processional that much longer so that this photo is that much bigger, and the way we do that is with these new therapies. And the way these new therapies get off the ground is research, and the way that research gets off the ground is Pedal the Cause. So thank you all.
Thank you, Ryan. Thank you, Chris. Thank you, Maggie, for being here tonight. And thank you for turning our donations into new treatments, cures, and diagnostics. We ride so they can do this important work. Thank you.
Thank you.
Please welcome Director of Operations and Community Engagement at Pedal the Cause, Ashley Seda.
Hi, guys.
Welcome, Ashley.
Hi, Jen.
You got some good walk-up music.
Thanks.
And I really like your new pedal swag here, which you can buy at the merch tent.
Nice plug.
So before we turn everybody loose so they can get some sleep before ride day tomorrow, let's talk impact.
Thanks, Jen. I'd love to. But first, if everyone, you have a blue or orange bracelet that we handed out on your chair from our sponsor, NISA, please put that on and switch it on for this last portion of the program.
Okay.
Got it? Okay. Pedal family, what you have helped Siteman Cancer Center and Siteman kids at St. Louis Children's Hospital accomplish over the last 14 years has changed the game for cancer patients. Over $43 million raised. Yeah, that deserves a round of applause. Over $43 million raised to date to fund cancer research and counting. We have one more month to keep fundraising and get that number even higher. That represents 211 innovative cancer research projects and clinical trials and counting. But what's really amazing is our return on investment.
Yeah, I think you heard it earlier. Within 5 years of investment, for every $1 Pedal the Cause donates to fund cancer research, an additional $12 is obtained from external sources like the NCI or NIH. It used to be $8.
It used to.
But now it's $12 because our doctors are that good.
Yep.
That has created nearly $500 million in cancer research. Funding right here in St. Louis. So you are making a big difference. Give yourselves a big round of applause and wave those bracelets high. We want to see them.
Included in that 211 total are some major advancements and huge milestones. We've all heard about the Cancer Moonshot Initiative, right? Well, the Cancer Moonshot Tumor Atlas program at Siteman has made great progress in better understanding why pancreatic cancer is so hard to treat. As a result, a clinical trial testing a new drug for pancreas cancer is in process. All of the preliminary data and early support of this project came from the Pedal the Cause investment. You guys did that.
That's incredible. A novel treatment using natural killer cells is proving to be the next frontier in immunotherapy. Pedal dollars have been funding the development of this treatment since 2015. And it helps not only adults, but kids with leukemia. And after many successful trials, now children from all over the US come to Siteman and Children's Hospital because it is the only place in the country that has this treatment. The only children's hospital.
Yep.
And once again, you, the Petal family, helped to initially fund this idea, and you're saving lives.
Yep. We have so much to be proud of. Siteman is now ranked number 3 nationally for clinical trials available. Petal the Cause has helped make this possible. Petal is remarkably unique in its model. Not every cancer center has a Petal the Cause that funds these new ideas. Siteman and Siteman Kids are thriving because Petal dollars are driving innovation. These dollars are powerful and they make the impossible possible.
We're all here because, frankly, kids' earmuffs. Cancer sucks. Actually, you know what? You're allowed to say it too. But when I leave Petal weekend every year, my heart is full.
Yep.
Petal is good for the soul.
Yes, it is.
To be surrounded by so many amazing people. We're all here because we have hope, and we know that by riding and fundraising, we are one step closer to ending cancer as we know it, once and for all. So Petal family, when you hear the reason that sparked you to join Petal the Cause, raise your bracelet high. We want to see them. Raise your bracelet high in the air if you're here because you have lost someone to cancer. Yeah, that's too many people.
Yeah, too many. Raise your bracelet high if someone you love has faced a cancer diagnosis. Raise your bracelet high if you are a cancer survivor.
Raise your hand if you are currently battling cancer, but you are not going to let it stop you from living your best life and giving 100%. And raise your bracelet high if you want to fund the best ideas in cancer research and create a world without cancer.
Woo!
Keep your hands up and look around. Together, we are strong, we are united, and we are truly creating real impact. That is something we can all feel and all be proud of.
Thank you for being on this road to end cancer with us, Petal family. We feel the love tonight, and we hope that you do too. Before we say goodnight, let's take a moment to remember why we ride.
I go crawling down the avenue. No, there's nothing that I wouldn't do to make you feel my love.
All right, y'all.
do you think of that? Woo! Hey, thank you all for being here. That's a wrap. Be home, get home safely. See you tomorrow morning for the big day, the big ride we all look forward to all year long. Want to thank everybody up here for being part of this great, great evening, and good night all. God bless. Congratulations. Thanks.
Jump right in. All right, you guys. All right. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Sitting at the edge of the bed, 1 million thoughts as I reflect. Tease me just a little. I'm not hard till the sweater. Follow your way for this. I might beg. Well, not too much that can be said. Thinking about the bad things in my head. Always wondering if what they said was true. And now I'm in the error. Even though she was no stranger, was the one gave me out of danger. No song